Welcome to PYP Summit TV. I'm Crystal Wright, your host. And this afternoon, well, I don't know whether it's going to be afternoon, morning, or evening for you all, but I am here right now this afternoon with the fabulous Tippi Shorter.
Hey, Crystal.
You are looking amazing.
Thank you. It's been a long morning for me. So it is morning for me right now, and it's been a really long one. Tried to get to the gym today and rush back to chat with you before I jump on my computer and start doing some work. So
Some work on
please
your
don't
own.
mind.
You have work too?
I do, but please don't mind the jumpsuit. Yes, I worked out working with you, Crystal, and then I'll be working a bit as soon as we're done.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. Well, I just really want to mention that, Tippi, you are one of the jewels in the PYP Summit crown.
Oh, that's sweet.
We're so excited to have you, and I'm really excited about the topic. You know, the PYP Summit is about helping artists to look at their opportunities. Artists see opportunities all the time, but I don't think that they really always know how to take advantage of them. And one of the opportunities is becoming a brand ambassador for a company, becoming a spokesperson. And you have done so many amazing things in your career. I would love for you to just tell us a little bit about yourself and then tell us a little bit about what you're going to be teaching at the summit.
Absolutely. Well, I have been a hairstylist for over 20 years now. I'm going to say about 22 years. I'm not going to reveal too much information on my age, but I've been a hairstylist for about 22 years now. And I will say, and you spoke about opportunities, becoming a hairstylist and being behind the chair, I didn't really know what other opportunities there were out there for me outside of being in a salon, taking clients every day, which is amazing. But I knew personally I wanted a bit more. So I had my first experience as a platform artist, which was my first introduction to becoming a part of a brand. I figured, well, they want to hire me. They want me to teach, and I can definitely teach. So that was pretty much the beginning for me, traveling during international beauty shows, teaching on behalf of a brand. And, then I started to meet other people that were parts of brands and, that were like creative directors or artistic directors. And the idea of how far it could go was just amazing for me. And so from that point, I became an educator. I became an artistic director. I became a global ambassador. I became a spokesperson, all for different brands. I felt like after spending about 2 to 3 years with a brand, it was time for me to graduate. And so here I am today as the global artistic director for textured hair with Aveda.
Exactly. And I think one of the things that you mentioned that's very important is that you spent 2 or 3 years somewhere and then you realized it was time for you to move on.
Yeah.
It was time for you to take what you had learned and take that experience and turn it into another opportunity. And I think a lot of people just simply don't know how to do that. They don't know how to do that any more than they know how to ask for a raise.
Right. That's true. That's true. And you know what? To be perfectly honest with you, Crystal, I was the quiet mouse in the corner, and I had to learn that the quiet person doesn't get fed. I had to actually speak. And, during this transition, I also had a salon in New York City. And if you can ask anyone who knew me 10, 15 years ago, I carried a notebook about that thick. And in it were my dreams and my goals and things that I wanted to do. And ironically, my current title now was one of those things on my want to be and my desire in my quest book. And I followed it. And I realized in order to get these things, I'm going to have to start speaking up. Everyone else around me is speaking up and they're really kind of fulfilling their dreams. So I was like, I can't just sit here and let this opportunity pass me by. So I did have to speak up and, kind of put everything that I learned to the forefront and just say, hey, here I am. This is it. Let me show you what I can do.
Well, I don't know if you've ever read this book, but do you know who Sheryl Sandberg is?
No.
Sheryl Sandberg is the COO of Facebook.
Oh,
and
wow.
she wrote this amazing book called Lean In. And the premise of the book is really talks about how women especially have to learn how to lean in and ask for what they want. And I think that's exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about leaning in and asking for what you want.
Absolutely. And I am a true believer of that, to be perfectly honest. I really admire all the ladies that I've worked with over the last 20 years because I feel like I've learned so much from all of them, particularly the ones who weren't afraid to ask for what they wanted. And, a lot of people looked at them a certain way, like, she's so aggressive. She's so this, she's so that. And I'm like, but she's getting what she wants. And it wasn't done aggressively. It was done professionally.
Exactly.
And, so when leaning in and taking advantage of opportunities and, helping them lead you into the way, how you see your life. I think what's really important is also the way you present yourself and how you ask for those things. You have to, I think that's the strategic part is about how you're presenting the opportunity.
Right. Exactly. You've got to know what to say. You got to know what to say. You've got to know what to do. And you really have to do your research before you go
Absolutely.
in and be prepared for
Yeah.
whatever it is that they're going to ask you. I remember when I worked at Xerox, somebody told me once that I didn't have to be nervous in an interview because they weren't going to ask me anything about me that I didn't already know.
Sure.
And that took a lot of pressure off of me. So that if you prepare like a pro in the first place by doing your research and you know who you are and you know what you want.
Whether you're a makeup artist or a hairstylist, like you know what you know and no one knows what you know and no one knows what you don't know. So go in and know what you know and present it 1,000%. And there's no way you can lose that way.
You have worked also, you didn't even mention this, but you've worked with a ton of celebrities. You've worked with a ton of celebrities, which is just another piece of experience that you have that you can bring to bear at the PYP Freelance Business Development Summit. And I would love for you just to mention a few of the people that you've worked with.
I've been a career hairstylist for celebrities like Alicia Keys, Jennifer Hudson, Rihanna, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and I've had an amazing opportunity to create looks and trends that were on television, that were in magazines, that a lot of my friends and their kids, went and bought magazines and, wanted to emulate those looks. So, I have had an amazing opportunity to really fulfill another piece of my logbook, my dream book. I don't think I excluded it intentionally. It's another part of following your dreams, kind of putting your best foot forward, presenting yourself professionally and really, again, leaning in. I think that's something I'm going to have to read the book before the summit so I can, speak wholeheartedly from it, from the heart about it.
Right.
Because I am a true believer in that. But it really kind of went hand in hand with me. I started doing platform work around the same time I started doing celebrity work. So one didn't take precedence over the other. I felt like one really kind of helped the other. Yeah. And which is really interesting because I'm working behind the scenes with all these celebrity women. And then the next weekend I'm on stage and in front of the scenes. So I will say I've learned a great deal about showmanship and playing to your crowd, playing your sense to your crowd from a lot of my celebrity clients.
Well, when I was writing notes about what the questions I was going to ask you, one of the things I wrote down is that Tippi is like a diversified stock portfolio.
I like that.
You know what? You've taken one thing to another thing to another thing. You've actually built this career and created this Tippi Shorter enterprise. And we have to tell everyone about one of your latest ventures, which is Halo Artist.
Yes.
Hair and makeup agency. I know it's already open, but not everyone knows it. So we're going to debut that at the summit.
Yes, which is really exciting. So as you mentioned, I did the freelance hairstyling aspect of my career solid for about 12 years. And that's all I did. I sold my salon and I traveled around the world working with really beautifully amazing women. And from there, I knew, had a family and I knew I just didn't want to travel that much anymore. And so I knocked on the door of another opportunity, knocked on that door and it was waiting for me. So with that, I have transitioned out of the freelance world. It was a transition I was ready to do. After being a freelance hairstylist for 15 plus years, I've made such amazing contacts, friends, acquaintances, just people who continue to call on me, if not for me personally, but for a recommendation. And if you're constantly being called to recommend a hairstylist, you kind of figure, well, am I this person's agent? Am I representing this person, and well, should I set it up like a business? You know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. So
Right.
with that, Halo was born. So, I mean, we kind of opened up our doors with amazing jobs immediately, solely from the relationships that I was able to build and maintain over the last 15 plus years. So with that, Halo Artists is a freelance hairstyling and makeup agency that represents talent in New York and in Los Angeles. And we are currently looking for one hairstylist and one makeup artist. And so if you're going to be at the PYP Summit, I can't wait to meet you.
Ah, isn't that exciting? So we're gonna talk about a whole way to make that happen when offline, so that people. But just get ready. If you first of all, let me tell everyone, you want to go to haloartist.com. That's HALOARTIST.com, so
Yes.
that you can take a look at Tippi's beautiful website, the amazing images. And if you would like to be considered to be part of that team, I would suggest that you start getting that portfolio ready right now, because you're going to have an opportunity at the PYP Freelance Business Development Summit to show your portfolio to Tippi Shorter, live and in person. So we're so excited about that. I would just love it if you could just share a couple of the points that you're going to be covering at the summit as it relates to your class.
Yeah. Well, I think the main thing I'm going to talk about is the different opportunities that there is in regards to being a part of a brand, and from being an educator all the way up to being a global artistic or creative director. So there's probably about 10 things in between there that you could use to get your foot in the door, you know, in the desired brand that you would like to work with. And so that's the main point. And then also, you know, of course, we need to get paid for all of our services. So letting you know where each of them stand. Well, you know, it's funny because I talk to people now. They're like, yeah, you know, I got this like sponsorship from a company. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. They're like, yeah, but you know, maybe I need a part-time job to go with it. And I'm like, okay, well, you didn't work that out well. During my class, I'm definitely going to help you with the negotiating skills. If you are handling this yourself, because obviously if you're working with an agent, your agent will handle that for you. But if you are working with negotiating your contract yourself, I will definitely help you with the key points, what's very, very important for your contract. And, you know, just the things that brands are looking for. I mean, because you never know. You never know what a brand is looking for. And I have been with professional brands. I've been with consumer brands. I've been with marketing brands. And it's really important to know what's out there, know what your focus is going to be, how you're going to present yourself to them to even get on their radar. And then when you go in, just to give you the pointers, they know that you are the one that they need to talk about their brand.
Well, if I was a hairstylist or a makeup artist, I would want to be sitting in that class, because I would want to open up more opportunities for myself. I always tell people, take the meeting.
Yeah,
Take the
absolutely.
meeting. Even if you're not sure if you want the opportunity, take the meeting, because
Absolutely.
you can win even when you're turning something down.
That's true. You're absolutely right.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that
You're
the
absolutely
truth?
right.
Tippi, I know that you have a lot to do today. I so appreciate that you took the time out of your day to get on here and talk to me, share with people a little bit about the class that you're going to be teaching, tell them a little bit about yourself, you know, that we had an opportunity to tell everybody about the wonderful opportunity to become part of Halo Artist Agency and
Very exciting.
work with Tippi Shorter. So you have a great day. I'm going to see you in April, and
Thank you, Crystal.
I'll see you at the summit.
Thank you.
For those of you who had an opportunity to see this interview with Tippi Shorter, I hope that right now you are on your way, psummit.com, to get registered for the summit if you haven't already done it. Of course, you can always call us here in the office at 323-299-0500. We're happy to help you with your schedule. We're happy to talk to you about your career, the direction that you want to go, and help you to pick out some classes for yourself. This is Crystal Wright signing off. Goodbye now.